Welcome, my friends. I love, I love the campfire, man. I've spent so many evenings out here listening to Erica Badu, smoking weed, chilling by myself, thinking things through about my life. I think I've had one, maybe two other people ever accompany me to this campfire. So, hey, welcome to the campfire. And I just feel that campfire is such a sacred place to have meaningful conversations. And one thing I'm doing my best to do is I'm doing my best to just be who it is that I am and not put on a mask, a front that I feel that people will love, because I've been really good at that in my life. I've been really good at putting on masks, being what I think other people want me to be in order to feel deserving of love. And even though I love myself more than I've ever loved myself before, I'm still doing my best to just be who it is that I am as much as I possibly can. But it's not easy. I want to talk about a subject that is something I don't ever really talk about with people because it's such a sensitive thing, and I don't really know how to make sense of it. And I'm so utterly confused about love. And relationships. I hung out with a friend today. We had met 5 years ago when she came down to my job over at LA Fitness, and she was looking for a guest pass, and I thought she was really cute. So I ended up getting her on Instagram, and I don't know how soon after that we exchanged numbers, but I did try to hang out with her, but just things never really panned out. And she finally moved back into my area a month ago, so she hit me up to go have some coffee. And last night I woke up out of my sleep at 1 in the morning, 1:20 or something like that. I know because I ended up checking my watch on the way to the bathroom, but maybe like 10 minutes before I even went to the bathroom, I was thinking about her. Not consciously, I was asleep. And the way that I even discovered that I was awake was I was thinking about having sex with her. And I was thinking about what I was going to wear to hang out with her today. And then I felt my penis and it was hard, and I'm like, I'm awake right now. I didn't know I was awake, but now I'm aware that I'm awake, and I was awake for, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 minutes or something like that, as I just thought things through, and I was like, man, I hope I can be able to go back to sleep. But when I woke up, I was like, okay, I mean, we'll see. You know, the I didn't really go in with expectation, but what one thing I did really look forward to is um, she's like really passionate about space, and she has a degree in something in relation to space, and she loves it. I mean, she has a massive passion for astronomy, not astrology, and she really loves Elon, from what I remember. I don't know if she still does. I wouldn't be surprised if she still does, or at least like have respect for him. And I was just really excited to just sit down and be able to have a conversation with someone who, first of all, she's a woman, and for her to be so passionate about space the way that she is, it's beautiful. I don't know anybody else, first and foremost, who is as passionate about space as she is, and I love the fact that she's also a woman who just loves it. I mean, is absolutely fascinated by it. So we met up at a coffee shop today in the downtown area of where I live, and from the jump, we start talking about this person who is apparently big in like the space industry. His name is Howard Hughes, and apparently he was really rich and successful, and he was able to, make a lot of progress for whatever he was doing when it came to space and all that kind of stuff. And when Howard died in the 70s, like his whole company funded changed because Howard wasn't married, nor did he have kids, but he gave his all to his passion, to his business. So he didn't have anyone to pass the business off to, and you would imagine that the person who ends up buying the business and takes over, you'd imagine that they wouldn't have the same passion and drive as he does, and is able to put the same amount of time, energy, and effort into it as he was able to do so. And when I heard this, I that really resonated with me. I really like that a lot. To give your life to something other, to give your life to a mission other than a family and a relationship. I felt connected to it. And we had a really great time today. And I don't see her in a romantic way. I think she's someone who I definitely just want to spend just a lot more time with, just like on some friend shit. And she taught me a lot. We talked about she it's like it's so awesome to hang out with her because when she gives examples about life, she ties it to physics and space. She gave an example today about the law of thermodynamics. She goes, thermodynamics teaches us. I was like, I love the start of this sentence. And she also taught me about Isaac Newton's quote: "For every action is the equal and opposite reaction." Anyway, I'm not gonna lie. Um, I think I'm just maybe I don't know. I try to get into like these like teaching rant mode, But I'm not gonna lie, I feel I'm still processing another relationship that I have, a friendship with somebody that I've spent a lot of time in conversation with, and she lives on the other side of the country, and she's getting into a relationship, and we've spent like the last like a year and a half to 2 years just conversation and stuff like that, talking. And I've always been curious, like, okay, maybe this might go somewhere, but it just was never like, oh, okay, yeah, let's do this. But recently, me going to more comedy clubs and stuff like that and meeting more people, I'm just like, dude, I don't like most people. Most people aren't talking about anything meaningful. And to be quite frank, I feel that most people suck. So I was like, you know what? I think it would make sense if we just committed to each other. It just made so much sense to me. So then I called her the next day, and I mentioned this to her, and she seemed, excited and on board. But then I get a text from her, just saying like, oh, she was also like talking to someone recently, who she feels like, okay, like more of a friend vibe from. But she's like, okay, well, I don't know what to do with this right now. And I'm like, hey, look, I'm not really tripping. Like, do whatever it is that you got to do. I mean, no pressure. I'm not tripping whatsoever. But I thought that she was going to see how she can potentially exit from that and move into, I won't say move in, but like decide to, for us to be together. Even though it's long distance, I've done long distance before, not necessarily in like a romantic relationship, but as a friendship. And then I went to go see that friend, and we spent a a year together in person, going on just like the most awesome adventures. So I knew, like, you know what? It's like, bro, I'll figure it out. I'll figure out how to get to New York. It's not that big of a deal. Like, I'm like 100 days away from being in New York. Like, truthfully, if like I put my mind to it. So like I'm thinking about growing together and all this kind of stuff. And but like I asked her, I said, well, like, how, like, I don't want to like overstep where you're at right now. I want to make sure that I'm meeting you where you're at. Like, I want to have conversations about, I want to dream together with you, and I want to talk about the future. And I was like, but I don't know how you want me to text you right now about this. And he goes, hey, let's just keep it how it was before for now. And yeah, just very, very nicely and politely, without really directly saying it. Um, it's like, okay, we're not together, which is fine. I don't know. I guess I just say which is fine, just out of reaction. But it was interesting because I've never had a girlfriend before, and I remember the day. There was like 2 days where I thought we were a couple. You know, because it was weird. Like, I've never like committed to somebody in that way, and it felt weird for me to. It was, I won't say weird. It's just new, right? It's a new reality, and around this time, I'm starting to get into stand up now, and I want to come up with jokes that make help me feel better about the situation, as if I'm not hurt by it or affected by it. But the truth is, I think what, but the thing is, like, we're still friends. However, I feel like there's some distance now. I think that her and the other guy are getting more serious, which is fine. And I am also not surprised. I feel like, you have friends who they get into relationships, and then there are other relationships that they have fall to the wayside. Right? I had a friend, a really good friend of mine, who got a girlfriend, and I didn't see that motherfucker for like a year or two or something like that. We never hung out. We never texted or talked or nothing. It might have even been longer than a year or two. I don't remember. That was over a decade ago. But at the same time, like, I don't really feel like, you ever talk to someone, and maybe just because you feel lonely, you start to justify why this person, like, you justify like the reasons why you aren't compatible together, because you're just so tired of feeling lonely, and you're just like, that's not a big deal, and you just ignore like the blatant truth that's right in front of you, which is, yeah, we get along, but there's something that's like not fully there in terms of like a total click. We get along, but it's not like really just organic, and just, it didn't just like organically just happen. It would come from a place of like force. I do think that our friendship is more on the organic side. And at the same time, I do feel like perhaps we conversated because we were both in this place where we didn't really have anybody else. And I'm not gonna lie, man. Just going back to Howard Hughes, I feel like with relationships, I feel like I've been hurt so much in my life, where living like Howard Hughes, just I just, out of pride, out of ego, out of spite, seems like something that I want to do, and just be like, fuck everything. I don't want anything. I just want to just commit fully to my art. That's it. Coming from a place of pride, but I'm not gonna lie, man. I do feel hurt, to no fault of hers. But I don't like how I just, I don't know how to navigate this space at all when it comes to relationships. And for me, I don't want children, but like the moment where I feel like there's a prospect of a potential woman who shows some kind of interest in me, I feel like there's a part of me that feels like I have to go against my own values in order to make it work, which is not the place I want to be in. And it's coming from a place of desperation and scarcity. And it makes me return back to a place that has never hurt me, which is art. Art allows me to feel and to just feel so deeply and strongly without the worry of being hurt. And while I'm hurt, I'm just like, I don't want to commit to anything but just art. I just want to dedicate my life to this and just say no to everything, say no to everyone. It's tough, man. It's it's painful that um, there's the three closest women to me in my life is my mother and my two sisters. When I say closest, I mean in terms of proximity. I've spent the most time with these three women than I have with any other women in my life. And the challenge with my mother and my sisters is they think much differently than I do, which is okay and it's fine. However, they're they have a tendency to want to put down and shame things that don't fall within their viewpoint of life. They're not really accepting, and we live differently. It's okay that we live differently. I'm an artist, and they value different things. They value security and, I guess, family. And when they look at me, it's through the lens of judgment, judging how I behave, judging how I think, judging my choices, my decisions. And it just feels like there's nothing I can do to make them happy. But if I were to go out of my way to try to make them happy, I would not be happy myself. It's hard to feel like I want to be close to a woman when I feel that I've only really had one great relationship with a woman in my life, which is my friend that I travel the world with. I love her to death, man. And I'm so grateful to her. I'm so grateful to her. But I feel like I've been rejected by so many women, and I just feel like these people make they make me feel like I'm just there's something wrong with me, and it's hard for me to go into a conversation with someone that I find attractive with this programming behind me of years upon years upon years of feeling like I'm unlovable, feeling that I have to be somebody other than myself to win over the love of a woman. So I'm terrified. I'm terrified to talk to women. I'm terrified to let my intentions be known, to women. And it's hard because I feel like I want to move forward without getting hurt, but inevitably I always end up getting hurt. And I feel like I'm beginning to become, I won't say beginning, I feel like I'm jaded. I feel like I'm jaded from love. And I'm just walking through this world feeling like I'm fucking crazy, feeling like I'm a fucking lunatic, and that, like, I'm constantly disowning myself and constantly just putting myself down because of what has been told to me growing up from people that I feel love me conditionally. I wouldn't say love me conditionally. I think they love me no matter what. Um, it would feel good to have their acceptance because I love them so much. And it's also tough and it's so frustrating because I don't judge them how they live. I don't have an I don't put my opinions about how I think they should live onto them. I don't judge the decisions and the choices that they make. That's not entirely true. I do. I do. I'm not a victim here. It goes both ways. But I don't express it to them. I don't say this is wrong, this is bad, something's wrong with you, why are you dressed like that? I don't put down the choices that they make to them. I don't make them feel ashamed about it, make them feel weird about having certain beliefs that they have. Fucking hurts, man. Really, um, just like I'm really just motivated just to be around people that I love and that also love me, but not just that, but like accept me. And I'm not gonna lie, man, it hurts a lot when there's someone that I want to build more of a relationship with who doesn't accept me for how it is that I am and how they want me to be different. And it hurts so much because like you don't understand, like this is just who it is that I am. And logically I can be the teacher, guru, storyteller guy and say these people, they're really just reflecting to me how they feel inside about themselves. They reject themselves, they shame themselves, they shame their own decisions that they make. They're human, but it hurts when it comes from a place when they speak to me and they communicate to me with this sense of certainty and also this passive aggressive way of making me feel, taking me down a peg and not wanting and not building me up. And I don't know what I can do to give them what they need from me either. I'm not getting my needs met from them, but it would be ridiculous for me to say I'm perfect and I'm making sure that their needs are met. I don't know. I don't know how to do anything but be myself. and be who it is that I am. So tonight's one of those nights where I want to give up on love. Where I just say fuck it, man. I'm just gonna go all in on my career. Go all in on my art. This little guy, or this little girl right here, she loves me a lot. What's up? I don't even, you know, I know this guy. Speaking of love, right? It's like receiving and also like me giving love. I don't know, man. Dude, I've had this cat for, I don't know, fucking maybe like a year. I don't even have a name for this cat. I haven't even named this cat. I can't even think of it. I can't think of a name for it. I don't even address it. I think I just call it Kitty. But like I have another cat that I call Kitty because I haven't named that cat. But that cat loves me tremendously. I'll tell you what, man, my cats love me, and I'm grateful for that. And I feed them, and they give me love and attention. And sometimes I get so focused on the absence of something that I miss what it is that I have that's right in front of me. But yeah, man. I wish that I can be who my mom and sisters want me to be without me having to feel like I have to compromise who it is that I am. Because that's never going to happen. There's no way I'm ever going to be someone that I'm not, to attempt to, not want to say attempt, but to like make them feel satisfied about how my life looks to them. They're not the ones that are living my life. And they don't, but like they don't also realize like the way that I live and the choices that I make are what like make me feel good about myself and like light me up in my life. Yeah, maybe you know, as I'm speaking, logically I understand that maybe it has nothing to do with me and has everything to do with them, their upbringing that I don't like know about, their experiences that they had that I don't know about, that have shaped them to be who it is that they are. So like I guess like it goes both ways. I can have more empathy for them and compassion and understanding. But all I'm left with is I feel like is this aftermath of like this. What's up?
Did you see the chargers that were on the table?
No.
There were two chargers.
Two chargers?
Yeah.
For what?
Phone.
No. Yeah, so like I'm like left with this mess that I feel like it's 100% my responsibility to like work this through and to figure it out. And yeah, I definitely think I got to go back into therapy, man, because I keep trying to run away from it. I need professional help. What was it? Was it Albert Einstein that said you can't solve a problem on the same level in which the problem was created? With the same level of thinking in which the problem was created? Anyway, that's just a little rant. I I find myself hiding my life from them now, hiding details, hiding things that mean a lot to me because I already know that they wouldn't understand and they would judge it. I never realized, I'm just realizing it this week, man, just how lonely that I feel. I experience a great deal of loneliness. And at the same time, I like being alone, but I really do like being in the right company. Like I love certain people. I don't love all people. I don't just love people in general. I went to do stand up comedy several days ago. I said I was going to do it 6 times this week. I only did it once. I have to learn this lesson over and over. I've learned this lesson over 100 times. Like, don't tell people what you're going to do. Do it and then talk about it. But don't share with them, I'm going to do this, because things always change. They don't always go according to plan. But I also realize that when I say I'm going to do something, I get the dopamine hit in my brain as if I've already done it. And then all of a sudden I want to move on because I get me saying, I'm going to go do this. And then that person being like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I don't like, all right, I just got what it is that I wanted from them without having to do the work. So now it's on to the next. But that person remembers that. What happened to this? And now my word may not be trusted. I won't say may not be. My word is not trusted as much now because of that. But yeah, I think I'll do stand up here and there just for fun. I'm more drawn to speaking, like if I'm gonna speak on stage, I want it to be free form, not necessarily in a stand-up context, because I like having discussions like this where I can be just honest and real, and I can talk about life lessons and stuff like that, and there's no pressure for comedy, even though I love comedy. And I just accept, I have to continuously accept that, like, man, I love comedy so much, and the relationship that I have with comedy is one that is going to remain an observer of comedy, of stand-up comedy in particular, rather than being the participants, and just respecting the art for what it is. I like to write. Writing is my thing. I love to write. I love the privacy of writing. I love how I can be in my own little world by myself, and I can explore and be as big or small as I wish to be. I can control the conditions of the world that I'm in. I feel like I am the creator of my own universe, and nobody else is there but me. And I can eat ice cream without ever getting diabetes. I can eat whatever it is that I want without any consequence. There are no limits. And I just sit in this world of possibility without anybody telling me no, without anybody telling me right or wrong. So about the Real Nigga Bible, people ask for a part two. I don't think there's gonna be a part two of the Real Nigga Bible. There's gonna be another book there's another book that I'm currently writing, but am I gonna expand upon the Real Nigga Bible? The Real Nigga Bible is complete. At least where it stands right now, I don't feel compelled to add on to it at all. It is okay as it is. It is its own. It's perfect as it is. It's its own standalone thing. And what if it just stayed like that? And I'll probably have some other spin-offs, or I have some other ideas that I like. I like the idea of like having like real nigga Bible candles, where like, you ever see those Jesus candles that you see like in Mexican households? I want candles like that, but of me wearing a purple suit with the Real Nigga Bible in my hands. Like selling like merch and shit like that. I like the idea of that kind of stuff. That's fun. I may or may not do it. But when I'm making art, I want to make it for me first and foremost. I want to feel good about the art that I'm making. I want to feel excited about the art that I'm making. And I have something that excites me, that grips me, that I want to work on and I want to get back to, and I'm excited about, and I feel good about. And I worked on it today for maybe 30, 45 minutes. And I'm like, oh man, that's good. I'm glad I got, like, it was so fun. I enjoyed it. I loved working on it. It was so fun. I love this, filming these videos. This is art. This is my fullest expression of myself. There's ease to it. There's fun. There's joy. It excites me. It lights my brain up. I could care less about what you think. I do this because I enjoy it. I was doing this for 2 years before I ever posted it on YouTube. I have 3.5 terabytes. More likely, because I put a lot of my old business stuff in the same Google Drive. So I don't know how much of the Google Drive is old business stuff. I want to say it's probably half a terabyte, maybe 500 gigabytes of stuff, like videos and funnels and just things that we did and promotional stuff, just little memorabilia to look back on in 20, 30 years and just be like, dang, look at, this was the webinar presentation that we did in April of 2020. Here's the webinar presentation we did in September of 2020. Just little cool things like that. And workshops that we did, that we recorded. And just cool, fun things like that. Getting started on my entrepreneurial journey. I think it's about 500 gigs. And if it is 500 gigs, that means I have 3 terabytes of video footage in a Google Drive that's not posted. That's just shit like this. Me being honest in front of a camera. Me sharing what's going on in my life. I do it for me. And I just happen to fucking enjoy posting it now. Like, I love the feeling of a new video getting posted. I like coming up with the thumbnail. I look at the view count on my YouTube videos. 16 views, 17 views, 3 views. When I see a video, this is my video that I did the other day that's about me taking DMT at a stranger's house. It has 3 views right now. I look at that, I'm like, bro, 3 people saw that video. That's fucking awesome. I hope they enjoyed it. 16 views, I'm like, dude, that's fucking awesome. 16 fucking people watched this shit. 17 views. I don't mind it, man. Of course, I want my view count to go up more because ideally I would be making money from this. Ideally I'd be making money from by being myself. And I think we can get there because of just who it is that I am. And I'm excited for the growth that I'm going to experience and the growth that you're going to witness me have. Who it is that I'm going to become over time. You're going to see me become more of myself. You're going to see me heal more, learn more. You're going to get to see my journey. And I think it's going to inspire some. I think it's going to heal others. I think it'll help people feel not so lonely in the world. I definitely think there's going to be a lot of good that's going to come from it. And I also think there's going to be a lot of destruction that comes from it. My intention is for me just to be honest. My intention is not to do good or bad, but I think both is going to happen. And that's outside of my control. You can argue, yeah, it is in your control. You can talk about things that can be uplifting. But then I wouldn't be real. I wouldn't be honest in that case. And then I have to live up to this character. And I'm already being a character. You go back and watch the video I did where I'm at a vegan event. I'm only there for like 20 minutes or something like that. And then I say, okay, I got to step away because my social meter is beginning to deplete. It's because I wasn't being who it is that I am. You can see there's an obvious difference from when I'm talking to people versus afterwards when I'm by my car and I'm talking to the camera. There's a difference in my energy. I was wearing a mask. And I wear a mask a lot. Even today when I hung out with my friend, I wore a mask. And that's because I'm just afraid of showing who it is that I am and being vulnerable. And I feel like when I show that, it opens me up to being hurt. And I don't want to be hurt. And then I start to get imposter syndrome. And then I'm like, I can't keep this up. Oh, what do I do? And there's a slight panic and there's anxiety. But when I'm talking to the camera, there's no feedback from you. I can be who it is that I am and I can feel safe while I do it. Same thing with writing. I can be who I am and I'm safe while I do it. There's that famous study with like the particles that like pass through something and like it like there's a certain pattern that shows up on the other side or something, and then the particles actually change how like when it's shot through something. I don't know, I forget, but they actually change when it's being observed on a fucking molecular level. And that's how I am. I feel like when I'm being observed when I'm around other people. You know why I'm doing this around a campfire? Yes, because there's, it's deep, but because my mom has a room that's right next to me. And I feel like I would have to hide the stuff that I'm saying. I'd have to keep quiet. I wouldn't be able to express myself fully. I wouldn't be able to be real. I wouldn't be able to be as honest as I would like to be, because I feel like she would hear, and then she would judge, and then she would go behind my back and talk to other people about it and judge me together. Part of me feels like there's an intervention that's coming from my family soon. I feel like they're talking about me. Hmm. Anyway, my brain's a little depleted, and I'm not feeling too good right now. I'm just feeling super like vulnerable. I'm feeling scared. I'm feeling like I have to put on a front. I feel naked. I feel like I want to run away. I want to protect myself. I want to end on a note that, you know, prevents me from showing too much of myself. I don't know where to go from here. I guess it's therapy if you want to look for a solution. All right. And I'm a big fan of therapy. Therapy's helped me out in the past a lot, and I think it would be wise for me to take it up again. I got a lot of shit that I would like to talk through, and also like be able to make sense of. I feel so anxious right now. I feel terrified. I feel like I've shown too much. But I'll post it anyway. I need to process this. This is heavy shit. I feel really heavy right now. I've brought up some stuff that I feel like, all right, there's some intensity here. I just gotta sit with this emotion, these emotions, and just feel it out. So, part of me wants to go just walk over to that camera and turn it off, but I'm gonna be quiet for now. I'm just gonna sit in silence. This is the end of the video. Me talking, maybe, possibly, I don't know. But I'm just gonna sit here and think. You're more than welcome just to chill with me and enjoy the fire. Thank you.